So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our prospect rebuild series, and today it's VJ Edgecombe to the Charlotte Hornets. It kind of goes without being said, but the Charlotte Hornets have been one of the worst NBA franchises really ever. They've been rebuilding since Kemba Walker left them and ultimately have had very little to no success. So here today, my suspicion, I'm sure many other people are of this same opinion, maybe they take VJ Edgecombe with the 4th overall pick. Obviously a fantastic athlete, real big high motor guy. Could he be the future face of basketball in Charlotte? Time will tell, but that's what we got here on deck today. Of course, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Quite honestly, I'm not sure how many of these pre-draft prospect rebuilds we have left. These top 4 seem like not solidified, obviously, but about as close as you can get really to it. So, if you guys have anything you want to see for picks, 5 and on, let me hear it down below in the comment section. But other than that, we are just going to wait until the actual draft happens and probably do many of these over again. But of course, with that, any other video ideas you guys have, let me hear it all down below. But yeah, man, the Hornets, I don't really know what's wrong here. I mean, LaMelo Ball may still leave some question marks. He's been one of the more talented players they've had in the past decade, and it still hasn't amounted to, well, really anything. So let's fix that today. Let's get into it. We now find ourselves here in the 2025 offseason. It's something I forgot to mention in the intro, but just so you know, as has been the case with all of these other prospect rebuilds, I'm also counting these as offseason rebuilds. Now, to be fair, I had already done offseason rebuilds with the other 3 teams, but the Hornets today, prospect rebuild, offseason rebuild, they're one and the same. All right, I went ahead and I simmed up to the draft, mostly because at this point I didn't want to make sure, with the 4th overall pick, the top 3, 2K is a little stupid, so anything could happen. So I made the picks manually. I just did the exact order of what I did with the other prospect rebuilds. But VJ Edgecombe, 18 years of age, 6'6", 188 pounds out of Baylor. As I mentioned in the intro, very explosive athlete, is just really an out-of-this-world athlete. And so I'm really excited to see how he fits here today with Charlotte. Again, we'll probably lock him in at the starting shooting guard spot for all 3 seasons. But again, there could be some flexibility if we need to maybe play him at the 3. Now, the CBU went ahead and drafted 2 guys in round 2. Jovan Sanan and Xavier Booker. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you fine people. I don't really know much about either of them. But we will go ahead and we will sign them. And yeah, this is Edgecombe's rebuild. So let's get into it. What we're going to do right now is we're going to discuss the roster at hand. Obviously, they have been in the midst of almost I don't want to say full decade plus rebuild, but it's kind of what it feels like. So, here with the Hornets, there are definitely going to be some question marks. LaMelo Ball's name will almost certainly pop up in trade rumors this offseason. Whether or not they go ahead and actually decide to do that, that's a different question. But we know how great LaMelo is when he's on the floor, when he's healthy. The injury bug has certainly not been very kind to him. At times there are certainly some question marks asking people, is he the face of a franchise? Can he be the best player on a contending team? And we don't really know the answer to that because there hasn't been a lot outside of him. So, here today, we know how great he's going to be, obviously on a long-term contract. That overall going to do nothing but go up. But yeah, it's something to keep in mind for the Hornets this offseason because I'm assuming LaMelo wants to win, and so do the Hornets. But unfortunately, I don't think both of those things are going to happen. KJ Simpson here. Trey Mann's going to be a really nice piece to have him here today. I think Trey Mann's in for a really big season next year, so I'm excited to have him in today's video. The shooting guard spot, there's some okay depth here. You got Nick Smith Jr., who I think could be a rotation piece for us today. Obviously, Edgecombe's going to be taking up the majority of the minutes as we head in to pretty much all 3 seasons. We have a 34-year-old Seth Curry, probably not long for this team. Of course, the CPU just drafted Jovan Sanan, and then Brandon Miller, who of course will be back and will be healthy. So my, guess is I'll be playing him at my small forward spot. Of course, you can ignore the injuries; those are going to be, completely fine by the time next season kicks off. The small forward spot, outside of what I'm assuming is going to be Brandon Miller, Josh Chuki can be a nice rotation piece. 26 years old, we kind of know what he's going to be. He's never going to be a star in this league, but can be a nice piece. He also behind him got Josh Green in here, and finally Daquan Jeffries. So some pretty good depth at that small forward spot. We move to the power forward position now. I'm not a big Miles Bridges guy. He's a pretty good player, not a good human. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. He's probably not going to be here very long. John Salon was the former number 6th overall pick in last year's draft. It was certainly not the most impressive rookie season. I understand he did not get consistent playing time, but it's just going to be about his development. And if that overall can continue to go up, then he'll probably continue with rotation minutes. If not, then we'll probably look to move on. Grant Williams tore his ACL. I'm thinking he'll likely be here for a season or 2. I don't see him as a 3-year piece for me, but again, can give us some pretty decent minutes. And then the center spot, we obviously all are very much aware of what happened with Mark Williams last season. Was a Los Angeles Laker for about 24 hours, failed a physical, and then ended up back in Charlotte for the rest of the season. So, here in 2K, we have the luxury of not playing with injuries on. It's obviously an unrealistic rebuild. If he continues to develop and do good things, he's probably my center the entire video. And then Yusuf Nurkic, goodbye. I'm No, I'm out on Jusuf Nurkic. Moussa Diabate, certainly a viable backup center option. He's only 6'9", so maybe a little bit undersized, but good age, good overall, great contract. Shout out Taj Gibson for still, playing in the NBA today, especially being a member of the Hornets last season. I understand he's 40 and probably just wants something to do, but I don't really understand why he wanted to be a part of this. And then finally, Xavier Booker, who, of course, the CPU just drafted. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty busy offseason. There are going to be some moving pieces, no doubt about that. But we're going to bring back everybody here today, again, as I mentioned, a non-realistic rebuild. KJ Simpson, you know what? For under $2 million, I'll qualify him. Wendell Moore Jr., probably not. Damian Baugh, probably not. Certainly Trey Mann, because I definitely would like to get him back. So, we have some free agents. Trey Mann is the most notable and definitely a big priority for me. Whether he's playing the backup 2, the backup 1, he'll almost certainly be in the rotation for me. So Seth Curry can go. Honestly, everybody else can just go. I know I qualified Simpson, but actually I'll hold off. If he accepts the qualifying, then fine. If he goes somewhere else, we'll probably let him go. So at this point, because obviously this is a non-realistic rebuild, I know I've mentioned that 3 times now, I'm going to make sure we have all the injuries turned off, as I probably should have done before this video started, and I'll see you guys with a likely trade or two. Not entirely sure why the Indiana Pacers want to do this deal, but I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to take it. We're sending out Miles Bridges, Josh Okogie, Grant Williams, and Moussa Diabate, and in return, we're landing ourselves Pascal Siakam and Obi Toppin. Now, my first and kind of biggest intention here in terms of this deal was to move on from Miles Bridges. I think it's a realistic possibility. The Hornets may do something similar this offseason. I highly doubt the return will look anything like this, but, given where Bridges is with his actual age in real life in the contract, 2 years left, would not shock me if they look to move on. But obviously, this doesn't really make a lot of sense in terms of what I'm just talking about, because we are getting older and we are getting a player that's even more win now than Miles Bridges. But here in 2K, the 3 years of this rebuild, Pascal Siakam's age, not something I'm going to worry about at all. Obi Toppin's going to be a really nice rotation piece for me as well. And again, we got that deal done without giving up a single draft pick. So that really feels like the biggest win out of everything we have done here today. So we still have a lot of quality depth with this group. I do think that I want to find a way to get Tidjane Salaün into this rotation. So whether I'm playing Obi Toppin maybe at the backup 3 behind Brandon Miller, who I did move to the small forward spot, that's certainly a possibility. But again, I was really shocked that Indiana offered that, and I was even more appreciative that they did. Next trade up's coming with the Memphis Grizzlies. We are sending Jusuf Nurkic and Josh Green to Memphis. In return, we're going to land ourselves 80 overall, 28 years of age, Brandon Clark. We're also getting a first-round draft pick in 2029. Now, this is kind of just killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We already have a lot of depth on this team, so cleaning up a little bit of that while also simultaneously making an upgrade, and the cherry on top is, of course, the draft pick as well. So he will be the new backup here at the center spot behind Mark Williams. At this point, we've kind of solidified the vast majority of this rotation, if not the entire thing. We're going to move Toppin to the small forward spot, as I mentioned, so he'll be the backup there behind Miller. So it's going to be LaMelo and Trey Mann. It's going to be VJ Edgecombe, Nick Smith Jr. Small forward is going to be Miller and Toppin, Siakam, Tidjane Salaün, and finally Mark Williams and Brandon Clark. So, I think we've done a really good job, and obviously a really quick job at that, of turning this team from pretty much a dumpster fire into something that definitely could be a playoff team here in the Eastern Conference. So, I'm not saying we're going to win a championship in year 1, but I don't know, man. I think this team could make a little bit of noise. So what I want to make sure right now is that we don't have anybody under contract that is, expiring after the season. So a guy like Daquan Jeffries doesn't necessarily need to be traded right now. If the time comes next offseason and we feel he could be used in a bigger deal, we'll certainly assess the situation at that point in time. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Again, we didn't really give up anything in terms of real value. And we made some, I would say, even more than marginal upgrades with this team. So see you guys with the rotation. Year 1 here in Charlotte, we had a really busy offseason, and one that I think was really, really good for us. We have finalized the 10-man rotation the way I think it'll work best. Here's how it's going to shake out. LaMelo Ball, VJ Edgecombe now paired up in our backcourt. Funny enough, if I auto-set this, it actually suggests I start now 80 overall Nick Smith Jr. over Edgecombe. Obviously, this is his rebuild, so that's not going to be happening, but just funny. Brandon Miller, who's up to an 86, has my small forward. You got obviously Siakam taking over the power forward spot, and then Mark Williams remains our center. Bench unit has gone from, well, okay, I guess, to really, really good very fast. Obi Toppin going to be my 6th man. You got Trey Mann here backing up LaMelo. Brandon Clark, the backup center spot. Nick Smith Jr. will be my backup shooting guard. And finally, Tidjane Salaün, rounding out the 10-man rotation. So, we have a team that is, I wouldn't say full of superstars, but there's a lot of promise with this team. I think a decent amount of potential, and let's just see what happens here. So find you guys at the end of year 1 here in Charlotte. Maybe I'm a bit delusional. I had some hope and some expectations for this group here in Charlotte, and I think it's safe to say they didn't meet them. We were 31-51. Now, We didn't win 10 games. The sky's certainly not falling, but I am obviously a little, I don't want to say shell-shocked, but let down. Let down feels an appropriate way to describe it. SGA, technically that would be back-to-back MVPs. Cooper Flaggy, Rookie of the Year. James Harden ended up with the Bucks, and he's coming off the bench. Okay. Walker Kessler, your DPOY. Scoot Henderson, Most Improved. SGA, Clutch Player of the Year. And 62 wins gives Jason Kidd a Coach of the Year and a 1 seed in Dallas. Okay, even with the Eastern Conference being as bad as it is, why are there 12 play-in teams? How broken is this fucking game, dude? We were the 13th seed here in the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia was maybe the only surprise that they were worse than us. I understand Paul George is regressing, but there's still talent there. And then here is a look at the West. All right, let's talk about some of the numbers real quick for this team. We'll be able to certainly tell a lot by these numbers. LaMelo Ball was good. Siakam did his thing. Miller, not a terrible season for VJ Edgecombe. I mean, the shooting splits probably weren't the best as you'd expect for, most rookie guards, but yeah, again, that's not bad as like a fourth option. Mark Williams on the dot, 10 and 10. That's consistency. Toppin, Mann, Clark. I mean, nothing here is jumping out at me and saying, this is awful. Like, that's not what I'm seeing right now. So, maybe it's a coaching thing. I mean, I like Charles Lee. I really do. But I don't know, man. I can't. 31 wins. This team should have been, I would say, at least 40. At least 40 feels realistic. So we'll see. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves up against Jalen Brunson in the New York Knicks. It is a Timberwolves championships. And oh, my God. All right, let's get through the offseason. Let's just see what we got to do here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. A lot of legends. LeBron James, Chris Paul. I'm counting my fucking GOAT, Al Horford, as a legend. Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry calling it a career at a 95 overall. Oh, my God, that's insane. Jersey retirements, draft lottery time. Well, the good news is we'll be in the lottery. We're projected the 6th overall selection. Is that Memphis pick this year? Or does that stem from a different trade? Because I know we got a pick. I don't know about that one. Okay, was that from the Brandon Clark deal? God, I wish I should know that off the top of my head. Charles Lee has pretty good ratings. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. The potential 4 out of 5 stars is fantastic. Also, please, I've said this 8 million fucking times. Please, 2K, you are the most realistic basketball sim out there. Either put a picture of Charles Lee, and if you don't have the fucking dignity to do that, at least make his character look like this. Doesn't look like Charles Lee. Can we? God, it's annoying. That being said, I think it's time to move on. I'd rather do something 1 year too early than 1 year too late, because if we keep him and we have a similar season, then obviously we are championship or bust in year 3. And it's certainly possible it's going to be the same thing that's going to happen with the new head coach, but I think at that point we clearly know it's the head coach. So, this could be a nice style for video. Again, we don't have a huge budget here. Jason Kidd's another guy, obviously an experienced one. Then Mark Daigneault would be kind of another option for me. So we get nobody to this point. Oh boy, we are not in a good spot right now. Ooh, I've had some success with Diego Cabello in the past, so if he is interested in coming in, welcome to Charlotte. Okay, it is the 2026 draft. We have a Grizzlies pick. I'm not exactly sure what it stems from. What I'm going to do right now is check Fanspo, see what they say. If there's a previous trade with protections and whatnot, then I'll obviously give it back to Memphis. If that does in fact stem from the Brandon Clark deal and my dumb ass just didn't realize it, then I'll keep it. I have an entire paragraph here. I have sorted out that this pick right here did not stem from the Brandon Clark deal. Probably could have figured that out without actually realizing this, because if you look down this list, you'll see the pick in 2029. There is a paragraph here. There are 4 teams involved in this. It is the Phoenix Suns, the Washington Wizards, the Orlando Magic, or the Memphis Grizzlies. One of those picks is coming to Charlotte. I don't know which one it is, because this is an entire paragraph that doesn't make much sense to me. I'll try to read it pretty quickly. Washington has the right to swap its 2026 first-round pick, protected for selections 9 through 30, for Phoenix's first-round pick. Orlando then has the right to swap its 26 first for the less favorable of Phoenix pick and the Washington pick if conveyable. Memphis then has the right to swap its... You know what? I quit. I don't know what other pick we're supposed to have. It's probably another one, but I am going to do myself and the world a favor, and all of you probably, and just send this pick back to the fucking Grizzlies. They're probably not supposed to have it, but when there's 86,000 different protections on these things, I really don't want to spend enough time or any more time getting this done. So, cool. We, on the other hand, do have our own first-round pick. It is at number 4, which is certainly a really nice asset. Whether or not I keep said asset is very much up in the air, so my apologies for cutting once again, but I got to figure out what I want to do with it. I have decided to draft somebody. I saw a couple deals that I considered, but ultimately did not like them enough, and they didn't make enough sense for me, where I actually, thought I was going to make a trade. So, we're going to draft somebody 4th overall. AJ DeBansa, Darren Peterson, Dash Daniels, your top 3. Cameron Boozer probably makes the most sense here. I think he's probably the best player on the board. welcome to Charlotte. So I understand the power forward spot's not exactly a huge position of need, but he is certainly an upgrade over Tidjane Salaam. Everybody's coming back, and then I think we do have one other major trade. What that trade is going to be is, still up in the air, and I still haven't decided, but obviously something needs to be done. So Mark Williams wants $30 million annually. That is not a cheap price tag, even for Mark Williams. But I do think the center spot is where we're likely going to consider an upgrade. Now, that doesn't mean that Mark Williams is going to be dealt. It just means we may consider an upgrade there. So I understand $30 million annually, and that's honestly probably backloaded, is a lot of money for a backup center. But I think it is the one area that I can, upgrade and think it makes a lot of sense for me. So that's not a guarantee. I may just wait it out another season, but I'm going to at least consider a few different offers. Oh, we made a trade. It is a move I have done, I think, in recent weeks, but it is one that is way too easy, and 2K definitely needs to fix it. But Chet Holmgren, now a member of the Charlotte Hornets. I did give up my unprotected first next year, so I am really hoping that does not end up biting me in the ass. But Chet Holmgren going to slide into my center spot, and is obviously a major upgrade with this team all around. So, good at center. I think Tidjane Salaam probably out the door, because I do need to find an upgrade, likely at my backup small forward spot. Could I maybe hypothetically play Tidjane Salaam there? Well, maybe I do that. Because I want to see this kid succeed, but just really hasn't had the opportunity so far. All right, that's cool. We'll play him there for a year. Again, that's probably not the long-term solution, but Daquan Jeffries, who is now an expiring deal, is going to likely be heading to a new team. So thank you very much, Chicago. That's awesome. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be a little shell-shocked and probably very angry if this team does not end up being good for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, you look at this team on paper, there's no denying that they should be elite, especially in the Eastern Conference. And then second, and probably more importantly, it's because I did go ahead and trade away my first-round pick this year. So we kind of have no choice but to be good. But clearly the talent is here. Hopefully it all fits together. LaMelo Ball, VJ Edgecombe, Brandon Miller, Pascal Siakam, and then Chet Holmgren, who again, I don't know why it's so easy to trade for Chet Holmgren in this game. It's very perplexing, but it's something I noticed maybe a month or two ago, that Chet Holmgren always somehow ended up on a different team that wasn't the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then I kind of started taking advantage of that and trading for him throughout these videos. Nick Smith Jr. going to be my sixth man. You got Mark Williams, who's now making $30 million annually as a backup center. Coming off the bench, behind him is going to be Trey Mann, Cameron Boozer, who, again, feels absolutely insane that he's playing 12 minutes a night. It almost just feels like malpractice, but we're loaded, man. And then Tidjane Salaam, who's going to be my backup small forward. So that is the team. Again, expectations are high. They were, slightly increasing last year, but this season, they're through the roof. This is a top 3 seed in the East. There is no denying that. New head coach as well in Diego Cabello. So I will see you guys at the end of the second season here in Charlotte. I am pleased to say that we had a good season, because I don't know what I would have done if we did not. 59-23 was the final record. We, didn't break any win-loss records, but really good. We are also the Charlotte Hornets. Let's keep that in mind. Victor Wembanyama, he is here. He's your MVP. AJ DeBanso went number 1 overall to the Bulls, right? Yes, he's your Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey coming off a Finals MVP. Now he's coming off the bench. Okay. Wemby also wins DPOY. Liam McNeely, Most Improved. SGA, Clutch Player of the Year. Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year. No love here for us in Charlotte? Okay. Let's talk about the standings. We're the 1 seed here in a, we're very weak Eastern Conference. Let's talk about some of the stats for this team. Who's leading the charge here? It's going to be LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Chet Holmgren, Siakam. VJ Edgecombe's numbers kind of went down, but you know what? We added Chet Holmgren to this team. That's not, crazy, unexpected. Rebounding department was Chet, and then assists is going to be LaMelo. So, 1 seed here in the East. We're in the playoffs for the first time, taking on a Brooklyn Nets team that is rebuilding. They're adding some pieces here with MPJ, Naz Reid. You got Jake LaRavia coming off the bench. I think we should be able to handle them. Cleveland here is not my favorite second-round matchup, because no matter which way you slice it, this team's good. Just loaded in the talent department. How they added Tari Eason is beyond me. Tim Hardaway Jr. here, Isaiah Stewart. Where are you getting that money from? One of the world's greatest mysteries. We are up 3-0, though. I don't really know what I'm worrying about, I guess. And it is time for the Toronto Raptors, who every time it feels like I undersell the Raptors a little bit, they always end up beating me. So I'm not going to sim the entire series. We'll go game by game, because the Raptors have given me some problems in the past. We are up 2-1 right now. Make that 2-2. Make that up 3-2. Make that the NBA Finals, and we are taking on 2K's baby girl, because as I'm sure many of you are aware, 2K fucking loves the Dallas Mavericks. Sorry, I got distracted for a second looking at LaMelo's numbers. I didn't expect him to put up 30 a game, but those shooting splits are god-awful for a conference finals MVP. How is Malik Monk here? Where did he come from, right? Where did you trade PJ Washington for him? What the fuck? I don't think we're beating this Dallas team. I'm not going to lie to you, people. Okay, we do win a game. Yeah. Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag. Tell me this shit isn't fixed that Cooper Flag ends up in Dallas. KD spent a year with the Lakers. He called it a career. Harden spent a year in D.C. Paul George just said enough is enough, and we are going to enter the final offseason. So, you know, we're close. We can win the East, not with relative ease, but you know what? We can certainly get there. We're not going to have a lottery pick, which is fine. I'm actually, happy about that in some ways. We're going to hang on to Diego Cabello. Of course, got to the conference finals, won the conference finals, got to the NBA finals, and then lost. All right, we do have two first-round picks and then 1 second-round pick. I'm actually not going to use any of these, I don't think. Well, I'll do something I've done in obviously previous videos. Let's see if we can combine these and maybe move up a bit. Like, who has, 15? Something like that. I don't know. That's 17. That's a little low. 14, 15, something like that. All I'm asking for here, 2K. Thank you. It's going to be the Pistons. If I give you 26, 30, and then 1 in round 2, and then how about a couple other seconds? Because you're not getting another first. Not that I'm really going to be using all these first, but that's fine. I don't know who we're drafting. I don't know what position we're drafting. We're just going to draft somebody here. J.J. Andrews apparently is pretty highly rated. Sure, him or Jason Crow Jr. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit. I don't know who the hell any of these people are. So, sure, J.J. Andrews, 6'5", out of Arkansas, 74 overall. Edgecombe, Salon, both going to be brought back. Qualifying, Nick Smith Jr., K.J. Simpson, Brandon Miller's definitely priority number 1. So let's see if we can lock that in. We take a look here at free agency. I'm going to hope we're not running out of money. That would really suck. So I'm going to first, oh my God, he wants so much fucking money. First and foremost, lock in Brandon Miller, and then I will wait on Nick Smith Jr. I think that probably makes the most sense for me. So let's just hope Nick Smith Jr. does not get any other offers. And obviously, can we pay him? Oh my, yeah, I didn't think so. I knew we were going to run out of money somewhere, and it's going to end up being the backup shooting guard spot. So we'll sort that out. At this point in time, though, I do think we need to make one other upgrade to this bench. We're sending T-John Salon and 3 future first-round draft picks to the Phoenix Suns, and in return, we're going to land ourselves Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro. Dunn's obviously the main piece in this deal. At the end of the day, T-John Salon just hasn't really impressed me a lot. Also, really hasn't had the opportunity to in terms of his minutes. But we're heading into a championship or bust season. I need to be as good as I possibly can at every single spot. So, a couple things I could do right now. I could include Trey Mann or J.J. Andrews in a deal. Try to find a new backup shooting guard because obviously we're going to lose Nick Smith Jr. Or I could just go ahead and maybe move Trey Mann to the shooting guard spot, which might not be the worst idea in the world. But I will first and foremost consider some different trades. So if J.J. Andrews, Ighodaro, and another first can find me nice or major upgrade at the shooting guard spot, I'll take it. Peyton Pritchard actually might be a really nice piece. And then, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in Peyton Pritchard, obviously a 6th man of the year, and then we'll just move Mann to the shooting guard spot, and all is well that ends well. So, I think this is easily the best team we've had to date. There's not going to be any other moves. Michael Ruzic or whatever is not going to be playing for us. It's going to be fully Boozer behind Siakam. So, yeah, I mean, do I consider a Siakam deal? I'm not going to lie to you. He hasn't wildly impressed me either. Again, I understand this team's completely fucking loaded. I mean, there's not a lot in terms of the minutes here for him, but unless there's a deal like, I don't know how these minutes would allocate. And obviously with this being VJ Edgecombe's video, he kind of has to start. Shit. Who else is out there that makes sense? I really don't know. I really don't. I get Scotty and Bam way too often. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., maybe, but would they consider something like this? I don't have a lot in the draft pick department left. I doubt this is going to go through. I really do. Oh, man. Damn. Oh, shit, it did. Okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion either way. If you think Jaren Jackson Jr. is a major upgrade over Siakam, if you think Siakam's better, you're more than entitled to it. But here in 2K, he's a higher overall. All right, that is going to do it. This is going to be the final squad heading into year number 3. I have no idea if this is a good idea or not. We are trading Trey Mann, Ryan Dunn, and the first-round pick in 2032 to the Indiana Pacers. We're picking up Andrew Nembhard. We are doing this for one reason and one reason only. That is because this game is so broken that Nick Smith Jr. actually accepted his qualifying offer. So, yeah. I tried to trade Nick Smith Jr. Unfortunately, the qualifying offer comes with a no-trade clause, and there were no offers for him. So, We are going to go ahead and likely play 6'4" Andrew Nembhard at the backup small forward spot. I have no idea if this is smart, but he goes up to an 87 overall. And yeah, just trying to make upgrades across the board heading into, again, a championship or bust season. So, very shocking. If this isn't a championship team, I have no idea what is. I mean, this is one of the crazier teams I've put together recently. LaMelo Ball, VJ Edgecombe, Brandon Miller, Jaren Jackson Jr., Chet Holmgren. Not only is that starting five insane, but we have 387 overalls coming off the bench. Andrew Nembhard, Cameron Boozer, Mark Williams, all 87 plus overalls. Nick Smith Jr., who's an 85 overall, is playing 12 minutes tonight. And then 83 overall, former 6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, is only playing 10. 83 plus overalls. Not something that I do every single day. This has to be the team. There's no denying that. See you guys at the end of the final season. We have officially tied the greatest season in NBA history because we go 73-9, tying the Golden State Warriors. Here is to hoping our season does not end like their 73-win season did. Luka Doncic wins MVP, Tyron Stokes Rookie of the Year, Dylan Harper, Victor Wembanyama, Hugo Gonzalez, Cade Cunningham, and our guy, Mr. Diego Cabello. All right, if this team doesn't get a championship, I'm just going to put it out there. I think the Hornets franchise is just fucking cursed because we are so clearly the best team in the league. We are easily the most well-balanced. There is literally nothing out there that should, suggest that this team is not a championship winner. So, round one, the Indiana Pacers. Pretty good. Julius Randle at the center spot is not a good choice. Let's go ahead. Let's sweep them. Moving on to the Atlanta Hawks here. Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. Okay. Zachary, they really haven't done anything super crazy. They're kind of just the same and some nice upgrades to the bench. We sweep them. Toronto. I'm not going to sim this series because every time I sim a Toronto series, it never goes well. But we are up to, okay, I can sim the series. We have yet to lose a playoff game. And I wanted anybody but the Spurs. Okay, that's cool, VJ Edgecombe. This is rebuild at the end of the day. Okay, Boogie Flan, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Gigi Jackson. All right, Dylan Harper's coming off the bench? Really? Okay. I will say, I have faced a lot of good Spurs teams. This one is, I don't want to say one of the worst ones, but there's been a lot better that I have faced. So, here's to hoping that this can be our time. Okay, yet to lose a playoff game. Beautiful. 16-0 on the table, potentially. If we come back, maybe. 2K? 2K? Okay. Oh, don't give me a closely contested game. That never goes well for me. All right, man. We are down by 1. We are here in San Antonio on the verge of sweeping the Spurs out of their own building, and we are down by 1. We do not have possession, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to kind of lock in here a little bit. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. I don't want to play on-ball defense, but I sure as shit don't want to play off-ball against Wemby. I'm Chet fucking Holmgren, baby. Give LaMelo the ball. Run the floor. Run the floor. VJ? VJ? No, I didn't. What the fuck am I doing? Why? I wanted to the animation where he goes to the rim. God damn it. Oh, no. Big rebound, VJ. Okay, let's focus here a little bit. Let's give LaMelo ball, the basketball. What am I doing with these fucking... I'm getting fucking bent over by this game right now. And it's mostly my fault, but these animations are not the ones I want. They're not the ones I normally get. That is a jump shot there from, I think that's Dylan Harper. Nice rebound, VJ. All right, let's just focus here. We're going to try to not do a fast break. Hasn't really been working for me, so we're just going to call for the ISO. Going to get a little screen here from Triple J. Going to get a nice look from 3, and I think that one's fucking going in, baby. Back up in the game, on the verge of the sweep. Wemby is bringing the ball up. Oh, fuck. Chet, I need you to lock in, my boy. Fucking lock it in. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Really good job. Nope. No, no. Oh, no. Well, he is the MVP for a reason. Well, he won it last year, but you get my point. We are going to call for the ISO, and we're just going to work here. LaMelo? Oh, hit him with the spin and the... Ooh. How do you do, Mr. Ball? How do you do? Boogie Flan out here getting diced up by Mr. LaMelo Ball. Oh, no. Oh, no. Chet with the fucking rejection. Oh, my God. Why is it so easy to get Chet Holmgren in this game? Nope. No. Nope. No. Oh, no. All right, well, that one's on me, 100%. I thought I had a little area here. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Gotta focus here. We gotta make sure we are locked in. Brandon Miller not in the game at this point in time. Okay, LaMelo Ball is just... What the hell was that? That felt way too easy. San Antonio still has one timeout, but they're not going to use it yet. We are going to chill over here with Chet up against Wemby. They're going to call for the screen. Wemby dives to the basket. Nope, he's going to try to post me up. Nope. Oh, probably a good foul, but it still hurts because we know damn well Wemby's going to hit these free throws. So that's fine. We're going to get Brandon Miller into the game now. Just another really good scoring option for us. So Wemby to the line. Free throw is up. It is good. He is likely going to put them up one. And now the decision comes, how do I want to approach this? Because I think the smart thing to do is to go for the 2-for-1, right? 39, almost 40 seconds left in the game. Mathematically speaking, it would make sense to try to get the 2-for-1. So big free throw here from Wemby. Put them up. Hopefully try to avoid getting swept out of their own building. It is up and it is good. All right, we have the ball. We are going to try to go quick. As I mentioned, you want to waste the clock. You don't want to waste the possession. So we're going to continue to work here against Boogie Flan, and I'm just going to continue to put him in the spin zone, and LaMelo Ball is just fucking cooking. San Antonio takes their final timeout. We officially got the 2-for-1 off as well, and we're feeling pretty good right now. I'm not going to lie to you. We're feeling pretty good. What does a defensive lineup look like? Now, that is something I'm curious about because I still have 2 timeouts. So, worst comes to worst, I can pause this damn game. It puts in Andrew Nembhard at the small forward spot. Honestly, that's fine. He's kind of a demon defensively. I highly doubt that Peyton Pritchard is a better defensive player than LaMelo. So, cool. We'll put Nembhard back in the game. Hopefully, he's able to defend at a high level right now. Obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr., Chet Holmgren are both elite defensive players. Let's just not... Okay, I'm going to try to not let Wemby get the ball, but that did not happen. So, we're going to hang over here. Oh, my God. Boogie Flan is pulling it, and he's going to miss it. They are immediately fouling Chet Holmgren, which... I don't know, I guess is an okay person to foul. Are we in the bonus? We are not in the bonus. So we are going to get the ball back. They're going to immediately go to foul LaMelo. We are now in the bonus, and we get a good free throw shooter in here. So not going to make any changes. Going to keep the defensive lineup in now. It'll likely still be a one-possession game. That is a slightly early release, but we get it to go. They are out of timeouts. Keep that in mind. They are completely out of timeouts, so they got to basically go coast to coast. If I wanted to be a bitch, I could play the foul game, which I probably will not do. Just doesn't really feel very... Actually, no, fuck it. Let's play the foul game. NBA doesn't want to change the rules. I hate fouling up three. I love it when my team does it, as does everybody, but it's just so boring to watch. I think it completely ruins the flow of the game, the way a game's supposed to feel when it's coming down to the wire. It's just boring. Nobody likes it. So I am going to, well, probably not the smartest thing to do here in 2K, but we're going to do it. We're going to make them earn it from the stripe. We're going to make them put the pressure on. Boogie Flan, first free throw up, and it is good. Again, we're just going to play the foul game. I can do this until I'm blue in the face. Does not really matter. Boogie Flan going to go to the line. Second one is up, and it is good. All right, give me either Nembhard, LaMelo Ball. Doesn't really matter to me which. They're going to... Whoa! Okay. I almost got a little pushy there, champ. All right, back to the free throw line again. This is such a boring way for a game to end. Nobody likes this. I need Adam Silver to do something. I don't know what the change would be. Maybe if you foul up three, you get 3 free throws. I have no idea. It's just, it's incredibly stupid, and I do not like it. I'll stop doing it just for this purpose. I think it's completely, a big waste of my time if I were to just keep doing this. Obviously, the strategy would work. Oh, my God. Okay. We can keep doing this all day. There's nothing's going to change here. I mean, maybe I'll miss a free throw. Maybe they'll get lucky, but let's just see. First one for LaMelo is up. It is a green release. He's up to 32, 4, and 10 on the night. Second one here is going to be, it is up. Ew. It is good. All right, 12 seconds left on the clock. We're not going to foul, mostly because I don't care enough to foul at this point, but no threes. That is the one thing I do not want to happen right now. They're going to just hold the ball with Vassell. Boogie Flan's going to pull. He's going to miss. This game's over. Not only do we cap off year 3 with the championship, but we finish it out with a perfect 16-0 record in the playoffs. LaMelo Ball was absolutely fantastic. He's going to come in and be your finals MVP. All right, what a video, man. If this team had not won a championship, I was genuinely going to sit here and say that the Charlotte Hornets were cursed. I mean, there's really no denying that. I mean, look at this. It's insane. All right, though, this one was fun. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the intro, I don't know how many more pre-draft prospect rebuilds we're going to do. Obviously, post-draft, we'll probably do the first, 10. Maybe we'll even do the entire lottery. It just kind of depends, how much time we have. But I don't know. If there's anything else you guys really want to see for picks 5 or later, let me hear it down below in the comment section. Gets enough support, maybe we'll do it. But this video's been long as hell, so we're going to end it here. That'll do it for me, man. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. Catch you guys all in the next one.